Hi there, Flat Cap Chef. I'm going to show you how to make the world's easiest flatbreads, which are great if you're having them perhaps with lamb or other meat, or just with vegetarian food. Flatbreads. I'm going to put a rosemary in there as well to give it some flavour. So let's see what we've got. So we've got some plain flour here. I've got plain flour and I've got 2 mugs. So that's around 360 grams of 12 ounces of plain flour, and to that I'm going to add 2 teaspoons, couple of teaspoons of baking powder, because plain flour doesn't have baking powder in it already, so phrasing does, of course. There we go. And I'm going to add another 1, 2 teaspoons of salt. I don't like too much salt in them, frankly. Now I'm going to just show you just quickly. I've got my rosemary here. It's an easy thing to do. So you picked all the leaves off the stems, you don't want the woody bits. And I've got my sharp knife here now. It flies everywhere if you try and chop rosemary. So if you put your hand over it, and then it kind of covers it, it stops it from flying everywhere. Just a chopping motion. Fingers nowhere near it. There we go. Want it chopped up reasonably fine. And then we're going to pop that into our mix, which is all the dry ingredients. There we go. Just going to take a spoon, just give this a little stir around, make sure we've got everything mixed together before we put the wet ingredients in there. And for the wet ingredients, I've got some iced water. You don't have to use iced water, it's just better if you do. And I've got just over half a mug, so that's about 240 mils of iced water, and some olive oil. I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of olive oil in here. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm not going to put all of the water in at once because we actually want it to be a sort of sticky dough, and if you put it all in at once it may get too wet. If you need a little bit more, we can always do that. I'm using a spoon just to start it off rather than my fingers, slightly less messy. And there we go. You can see it's starting to bind together now. So I'm going to put in the rest of my water, and now I'm going to go in with the hands. This is a little bit of a messy stage. What we're looking for is a sticky dough. It comes together pretty quickly. If you get it stuck on your hands like this, you can scrape it off. And if you rub your fingers together, you'll find it also comes off because it kind of goes into lumps. Here we go. It's coming together now, so I can squeeze this and gather all the bits from the bottom. You're not really going to do much in terms of kneading this, apart from getting it into a nice compact ball. You can see it's now coming together. These bits of my fingers, don't want to waste it. There we go, it's almost done. And that's that off my fingers. So now what I'm going to do is just going to cover this with a little bit of cling film. Leave it in the bowl for about 10-15 minutes just to get itself well sorted out, and then we'll be good to get them into the frying pan. So let's come back when that's happened. Okay, so I've got half now of my dough, or the other half here. I'm going to turn it into a little sausage and roll it in some flour. Leave my tea towel underneath because my board is sliding around. let's just do that. There we go. Now I'm going to cut this into 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So this will do 10 flatbreads. So push these to one side, take this piece here, roll it into a ball, back into my flour, palm of the hand, push it out. I want this to be about 1 millimetre thick. That's all. So keep putting the flour on your hand. Here we go. Turn it over. Stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Use your fingers. A little bit more pushing out. I've got a little bit more rosemary here. Just give it a bit more flavour. Pop that on. Stretch it out. It's a nice thin layer. I've got my pan heated up with some olive oil in it. So let's take this now over and pop it in the pan. So here's the pan. And it's now heating nicely. This is quite a hot pan. I've got not too much olive oil in. You don't want to turn it into a greasy mess. It doesn't take long to cook, so I'm going to see this no more than a minute on this side, and you can see bubbles starting to form here now, which is going to give that light, lovely, crispy, light, airy texture. Now pop it over. Look at that. Get the oil back into it, so swish around in the pan. And again, we're going to do no more than 60 seconds on this side, and we're then going to have the most lovely flatbread. Check it. It's doing nicely. Don't push down too much because you want it to have a little bit of texture, light and airy. And here we go, flatbread sorted. And if you like this and you want to see more of it, just subscribe to the channel. It's free and you'll get a notification of every time I post a video. Okay, so here's an extra tip on how to actually roll these really flat, these flatbreads, if you don't have a rolling pin or you have the energy in your hand. And I have, in this case, a tin of chickpeas in this case. And I use the central section, and we'll just roll it out, turn it over. Yeah, just use these patterns, throw some more lovely rosemary in there. So this is an added extra, and guess what? You can do a really thin roll with no rolling pin, and if you can't do it with your hand, then look at that. You've now got a perfectly thin, fantastic flatbread using a tin from your cupboard.